Jessica, you need to focus on the kids. You can't handle medical school and 3 babies, Mark said, his voice dripping with contempt as he threw clothes into his suitcase. I stood in our bedroom doorway, exhausted from another sleepless night with our 6-month-old twins and their 2-year-old sister Emily, who was fighting another respiratory infection. I can do both, I whispered, though my voice shook. I just need your help. The twins are finally sleeping through the night, and Emily's medications are working better. Emily will never be better, he snapped, whirling to face me. She'll always be sick, the twins will always need attention, and you'll always be stretched too thin. I didn't sign up for this. I flinched at his words but stood my ground. She's getting stronger. The new treatment. I'm done, he cut me off, zipping his suitcase with finality. Karen appreciates me. She doesn't have 3 kids driving her down. She actually has time for me. Karen, his secretary. Of course. The kids need you, I pleaded, hating the desperation in my voice. Emily asks for you every night. He laughed, a cruel sound I'd never heard from him before. Emily can barely breathe without help. The twins won't even remember me. And you? He looked me up and down, taking in my unwashed hair. The baby spit up on my shirt, the dark circles under my eyes. You're not worth the trouble. He pushed past me, his suitcase bumping against the doorframe. I followed him down the stairs, my mind racing. How would I pay the mortgage, Emily's medical bills, the twins' daycare? What about child support? I called after him. He paused at the front door, turning with a smirk. Good luck proving paternity. I'm leaving the country with Karen. You'll never find me. The door slammed behind him, and I stood there in shocked silence until Emma's cry pierced the air, followed quickly by her twin brother Ethan's wails. Upstairs, I could hear Emily's wheezing cough. My babies needed me. I could break down later. That night, after getting all 3 children to sleep, I sat at the kitchen table with my medical school acceptance letter in front of me. I'd been so proud when it arrived, dreaming of becoming a pediatric pulmonologist inspired by Emily's struggles. Mark had seemed supportive then, before the twins arrived unexpectedly. My phone buzzed with a text from my best friend Anna. I heard what happened. I'm coming over tomorrow. We'll figure this out. I looked at the family photo on the wall, taken just 2 months ago. We looked happy, normal. Now I was alone with 3 babies and a dream that seemed impossible. But as I listened to the quiet breathing of my children through the baby monitor, something shifted inside me. Mark was wrong. Emily was fighting and getting stronger every day. The twins were thriving despite their early arrival. And me? I picked up my phone and called the medical school's admissions office, leaving a message requesting an urgent meeting about deferring my acceptance for 1 year. Not giving up, just adjusting the timeline. Then I called my mother, swallowing my pride. Mom, I need help. She answered immediately, as if she'd been waiting. I'm already packing my bags, sweetheart. I'll be there tomorrow. Over the next few weeks, we developed a system. My mother moved in, helping with the children while I worked extra shifts at the hospital where I'd been a nurse. Anna helped find us a smaller, more affordable house. My coworkers set up a rotating meal train and babysitting schedule. Emily's pulmonologist, Dr. Chen, became an unexpected ally. When I explained my medical school dreams, she offered to mentor me. Your experience with Emily will make you an exceptional doctor, she said. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. 6 months after Mark left, I was exhausted but standing. Emily's new treatment was working better than we'd hoped. The twins were walking, babbling, filling the house with laughter, and I had a plan. I would become the doctor I'd always dreamed of being, the one who could help children like Emily. Mark thought I couldn't handle it. He had no idea what I was capable of. My acceptance to medical school was deferred, not canceled. Every night, after the kids were asleep, I studied, preparing for the challenge ahead. My mother's support, my friends' help, and my children's love would get me through. Mark had chosen to walk away from the most beautiful parts of life. His loss. We would thrive without him. What I didn't know then was that 12 years later, he would walk back into our lives in the most unexpected way, and everything I'd built would shake him to his core. 12 years passed in a blur of determination, sleepless nights, and countless small victories. Medical school with 3 young children wasn't easy, but we made it work. My mother became the children's second parent, her unwavering support making my seemingly impossible dream a reality. I specialized in pediatric pulmonology, driven by Emily's journey. Every late-night study session, every exhausting rotation, every moment I missed with my kids, it all led to this moment. I wasn't just a doctor, I was the head of the pediatric pulmonology department at Boston Children's Hospital. Emily, now 14, had become my unofficial assistant. Her own experiences made her uniquely qualified to comfort my young patients. The twins, at 12, were bright and compassionate, often volunteering in the hospital's children's ward. Our life wasn't perfect, but it was ours, built from the ashes Mark had left behind. That Tuesday started like any other. I was reviewing a complicated case in my office when my nurse, Sarah, knocked on the door. "Dr. Harrison, your 2 o'clock is here. New patient, transfer from Chicago. Severe respiratory complications, possibly genetic." I nodded, gathering my files. Name? Sophie Anderson. She's 6. Parents are quite anxious. Apparently they've seen several specialists already. The name didn't register at first. I walked into the examination room, focused on the chart in my hands. "Hello, I'm Dr. Harrison." "Jessica." That voice. I froze, my heart stopping for a moment before racing ahead. I looked up slowly, and there he was. Mark. Older, grayer, but unmistakably the man who'd walked out on us 12 years ago. He was standing beside a thin, pale little girl sitting on the examination table. Next to him stood a woman I assumed was Karen, looking uncomfortable. "What are you doing here?" he stammered, his face draining of color. I straightened my spine, gripping my clipboard tighter. "I'm the doctor you've been referred to. Dr. Jessica Harrison, head of pediatric pulmonology." His mouth opened and closed wordlessly. The woman, Karen, looked between us, confusion evident on her face. "Mark? Do you know her?" Before he could answer, I turned my attention to the little girl. She had the same labored breathing I'd recognized in Emily all those years ago. "Hi, Sophie, I'm Dr. Harrison. Can you tell me about your breathing troubles?" Sophie launched into her story, describing symptoms I knew all too well. I listened intently, performing my examination while professionally ignoring Mark's stunned presence. The little girl was smart, articulate, and clearly frightened of the unknown thing affecting her lungs. "Dr. Harrison?" Sophie asked timidly. "Can you fix me like you fixed your daughter?" I glanced up sharply. "How did you know about my daughter?" She pointed to my office wall, visible through the open door. There hung a magazine cover featuring Emily and me. "Mother Doctor's Revolutionary Treatment Gives Hope to Children with Rare Lung Disease." Mark stepped forward, finding his voice. "Your daughter? You mean Emily?" "Yes," I replied coolly. "Emily's case inspired the treatment protocol I developed. She's 14 now, captain of her swim team." I turned back to Sophie, my voice softening. "And yes, sweetheart, I believe I can help you too." Karen grabbed Mark's arm. "Wait, Emily, your sick daughter? The one you said—" She stopped, horror dawning on her face. I continued my examination, maintaining my professional demeanor while Mark's world visibly crumbled around him. The irony wasn't lost on me. The man who claimed Emily would never get better was now desperately hoping I could save his new daughter. "Sophie has the same genetic condition Emily had," I explained, addressing Karen rather than Mark. "We've developed a revolutionary treatment program here. The success rate is very promising. You're the specialist they referred us to." Mark's voice was barely a whisper. The one they said was our last hope. I met his eyes for the first time. "Yes, funny how life works out, isn't it?" I turned back to Sophie with a warm smile. "Let's talk about your treatment plan. Sarah will schedule you for some tests, and then we'll get started." As I outlined the treatment protocol, I could feel Mark's eyes on me, seeing not the overwhelmed young mother he'd abandoned, but the accomplished doctor I'd become, the woman who'd raised 3 children while pursuing her dreams, the expert who could save his daughter's life. When I finished explaining everything, Sophie looked significantly more hopeful. Karen was taking detailed notes, asking intelligent questions. Mark just stood there, shell-shocked. "Dr. Harrison?" Sarah appeared at the door. "Your children are here. Emily's appointment is in 10 minutes. "Thank you, Sarah." "Sophie, we'll see you tomorrow for those tests. Try not to worry. You're in good hands." As if on cue, Emily appeared in the doorway, now tall and healthy, with the twins right behind her. They'd grown into amazing teenagers, their resilience and compassion a constant source of pride. "Mom, ready for my checkup?" Emily paused, taking in the scene before her. Her eyes narrowed slightly at Mark, recognition flickering across her face from old photographs. I smiled at my daughter, watching Mark's face as he saw what he'd walked away from. Yes, sweetheart. I'm ready. The following weeks were a delicate balance of professionalism and unspoken tension. Sophie's treatment became my priority, while Mark struggled to process the reality of our situation. Emily, displaying maturity beyond her years, insisted on being part of Sophie's care team. She's my sister, Mom, she said quietly one evening. Even if he doesn't deserve it, she does. The twins, Ethan and Emma, took Sophie under their wing when she visited the hospital's children's ward. They never mentioned their connection to her, simply treating her with the same kindness they showed all patients. One afternoon, while reviewing Sophie's improving test results, Karen appeared in my office doorway. Can we talk? She asked, her composure cracking slightly. About everything. I gestured to the chair across from my desk. She sat, twisting her wedding ring nervously. He told me Emily died, she blurted out. Years ago. He said that's why he left. He couldn't handle the grief. She looked up, tears in her eyes. I never knew. I wouldn't have. You wouldn't have what? I asked calmly. Wouldn't have helped him abandon his children? Or just wouldn't have helped him lie about it? She flinched. I was young and stupid. He was this successful businessman, telling me stories about his tragic past. By the time I realized the truth, I was pregnant with Sophie. She wiped her eyes. When she started showing symptoms, he fell apart. Now I understand why. I handed her a tissue. Sophie's responding well to treatment. She'll have a normal life, Karen. Emily is proof of that. Your children are amazing, she said softly. The way they've been with Sophie. They're kind and strong, just like their mother. Before I could respond, Mark appeared in the doorway. Seeing us together, he paled. The twins are showing Sophie the garden, he said awkwardly. Emily's explaining her treatment journey to her. I nodded, keeping my expression neutral. Sophie's lucky to have them. They understand what she's going through. Jessica, he started, then stopped. Dr. Harrison. I was wrong. About everything. Yes, you were, I agreed simply. But that's not what matters now. Sophie's health is what matters. Karen stood abruptly. I should check on Sophie. She hurried out, leaving Mark and me alone. He looked around my office, taking in the awards, the research papers, the family photos showing 12 years of milestones he'd missed. They're incredible, he said, gesturing to a recent photo of the children. I see them with Sophie and I, his voice cracked. I threw away everything. You did, I confirmed. But they're strong, happy, and healthy, no thanks to you. Emily's achievements, the twins' compassion, your success. He shook his head. You did it all without me. Better than I ever thought possible. That's where you were wrong, Mark. I was always capable. You just couldn't see it. A commotion in the hallway drew our attention. Sophie was running toward my office, her face glowing with excitement, Emily and the twins following behind. Dr. Harrison. Look, she took a deep breath, deeper than she'd been able to before treatment. Emily showed me how to use the breathing techniques, and I did it. I smiled, genuine joy filling me at her progress. That's wonderful, Sophie. Emily's an excellent teacher. Can I come back tomorrow? Emma and Ethan promised to show me their volunteer project, and Emily said she'd tell me more about when she started swimming. Mark watched this exchange, the weight of his choices visible in his expression. His daughter saved by the family he'd abandoned. His children showing more maturity and forgiveness than he ever possessed. Later that evening, as I was preparing to leave, Emily knocked on my office door. Mom, I've been thinking, maybe we could invite Sophie to my swim meet next week. She should see what's possible. I hugged her tightly, amazed by her generous heart. That's a wonderful idea, sweetheart. He was wrong about us, wasn't he? She said quietly. About you. Yes, he was, but look what we built without him. Over the next few months, Sophie's health improved dramatically. She became a regular visitor to our home, forming a genuine bond with her siblings. Mark and Karen attended Emily's swim meets, watching from a distance as their daughter cheered for the sister they'd never thought she'd have. One day, as Sophie was being discharged, Mark caught me in the hallway. Thank you, he said simply, not just for Sophie, for showing me what real strength looks like. What I threw away. I looked at him, seeing not the man who'd broken my heart, but someone who had to live with his choices while watching his abandoned family thrive. Sophie's going to have a wonderful life, I said. That's what matters now. As I walked away, I heard Emily calling out to her sister, watched the twins include Sophie in their plans, and felt profound gratitude for the life we built. Mark's cruelty had nearly broken me, but it had also led me to become someone stronger than I'd ever imagined. Sometimes the best revenge isn't confrontation or anger. It's success, happiness, and the ability to show kindness even to those who hurt you. My children understood that better than anyone.